I would wake up feeling bad. And so I would exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up feeling bad because I was exhausted, or I maybe didn't eat enough the day before, or I didn't focus on, calming my mind before I went to sleep. And then I would work it all out on the gym. And it was just like, it just put me right back on that wheel of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Temporary like high from the workout. Woo, I got a sweat in. And then like 2 hours later, I'm like, give me a nap.
Welcome to the Wealth Podcast, Off With Your Coat, a podcast on women's health and wellness where we flip the script and ditch the surface level chatter. We need to ask the real questions. Let's get back to storytelling and back to basics to help us uncover how to set ourselves up for true health and wellness and pass it on. I'm Kat Duff, founder of GenWell, the women's health advocacy brand building wealth, the intersection of health and wellness. Some days it's me and a doctor, coat off, talking about what really matters. No fluff, no filters. Other days, it's East meets West, trading tools, not punches, to help move women's health forward. We're building generational wealth. Come with us. Coats off, let's go. Ladies, we have an incredible episode for you today. Our guest is a true leader in holistic wellness, Sarah Wragge, founder and chief nutrition expert of Sarah Wragge Wellness. Years of inflammation, gut issues, and burnout inspired her to deep dive into holistic nutrition and create a method that actually works for real life. Not a diet, but balanced lifestyle support. Sarah empowers women to take ownership over their energy, metabolism, and well-being. She's also a mom of two, a fellow Italian, food lover, and you will love learning her practical tips on nutrition and balance. I am so pumped to have you here, Sarah. So welcome to Off With Your Coat.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
So as you all know, we start off our conversations where we take off our proverbial white coat and try to get under the hood and have some real girl chat, real conversations. And so, Sarah, I would love to hear from you specifically, your experience as a woman, your health journey. How has that led to what you're doing now with SWW and all of the wonderful, incredible things you're doing in the wellness space?
Thank you. I feel like I turned a health crisis into a career. And I spent a lot of my life not knowing what it was like to feel good. And the inspiration for SWW was really that, pivotal moment in my health journey where I said to myself, oh my gosh, I've never actually felt like this. I always thought I felt good. And my normal was my normal. And I always like to say to our clients, we're going to change your normal. For as much as good as you think it is right now, we're just going to up level it. And change, and flip it on its head and show you how incredible you can possibly feel. So it was my health struggles really were a lifetime of feeling bloated and having a lot of inflammation. My biggest symptom was I had chronic acid reflux. I had really bad digestive issues. I was only going to the bathroom like 1 to 2 times a week. And I just really felt pretty crummy. The alkalized powder that we have was inspired by my journey with acid reflux. And I think so many people suffer with reflux and don't really talk about it because you don't look bad from having acid reflux, but inside it's like this internal battle of fire all the time. So really that was the inspiration, was not feeling good, realizing that I could feel incredible, and then creating a brand over a long time. I mean, I launched this brand 10 years ago, and it was just me, myself, and I until about 4 years ago. So I was on a mission once I felt great to help other people feel good.
I love that. It's so interesting how we're conditioned as women to just be like, well, yeah, I have pains. I'm feeling like this.
Good.
Oh, it's just like my normal.
I'm great. What are you
Right?
talking about?
So to give people an opportunity to feel even better or understand what that feels like, especially with bloating. I mean,
Everybody's
do you have one
bloated.
woman, right? Do you have one woman that you've ever worked with who's like, I'm not bloated?
Yeah, I know. Well, also, it's not really our faults. The food in America is working against us. Everything. The the regulations, the farming, the stuff that's added into the food. I mean, you're seeing it all over social media. Just, you're allowed this product in America, but you're not allowed this product in London, or you're not allowed this product in Italy, and you're not, and it's they're out to get us, I feel like.
Right. My son is so funny because I'm trying to give him like what we're doing at Gen Well is like generational wealth. And so I'm like, I need to educate myself before I pass on all of that information. And so we now have this thing where he's like, I want to go to CVS and get these gummies. And I'm like, well, we can't go to CVS and get the gummies, but we can go to like the
Yeah.
boutique shop down the road.
Right.
And so he's like,
You can
oh,
make the gummies.
yeah. He's like, oh, because those ones don't have the toxics. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, the toxics.
Right. Right. Oh, isn't it funny how they're these little sponges? Like, I was driving to school yesterday, and I said something to Christian, my 9-year-old. I was like, oh, I'm so pumped. My client slept so well last night because I was looking at her data. He goes, how much deep sleep did she get? And I was like, oh, that's amazing. I literally stopped the car and I'm like, I am so proud of you. What is deep sleep? And he goes, deep sleep's where your body repairs, Mom. And I was like, oh. Like, I didn't even know he knew that.
Well, I'm proud of you because how amazing is that like he can start to understand that.
Yeah, another funny story. We were driving. Do you ever drive and in the back seat you hear all the conversations of your kids like with their friends?
Yeah.
It's the best mom time of the day. So I'm hearing Christian say, you better not eat that. You better not eat that, Jack, because that sugar is going to make you bloated like a balloon.
Oh, no.
And I said, uh-oh. I was like, did I say that on the phone?
Did anyone chime in with alkalize or no?
Oh, yeah. He'll say things to me all the time like, hey, Mom, how is your cookie? Are you going to alkalize now? And I'm like, I might. Yeah,
I'm obsessed
really
with that.
funny what's happening in my household right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so in addition to the acid reflux, was there anything else in sort of your health journey that led you to like the nutrition aspect?
I mean, I never regularly went to the bathroom. So talking about feeling bloated, like it's just like it was a chronic issue for me. So I didn't even realize I was doing this until I stopped doing it. I would just look at a plate of food and be like, okay, that's going to make me gassy. I'm not going to go to the bathroom for 2 days. This is going to give me instant reflux. And I didn't know how to solve, like, I didn't know what to do. What do you do when you can't go to the bathroom? What do you do when you have reflux? Oh, you take a Pepcid. Oh, you take a Nexium. Oh, you take a Prilosec. And I was just script after script after script, doctor after doctor. I had multiple upper endoscopies, multiple colonoscopies. By the time I was 18, okay, I played basketball. I've always been an athlete. Basketball, track, swimming year round. I had these sort of like bulbous joints on my, like these sort of bulbs. And I just thought it was kind of jammed fingers. But I went to a doctor in DC that told me that I had rheumatoid arthritis. And they actually wrote me a prescription for methotrexate. And I remember I was on my way to my first year at James Madison University, and my mom was with me, and she's like, you're not taking that. They're like, you can't drink alcohol, you can't go into the sun, or you'll have like it will make your skin gray. And I'm like, I'm going to college.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
Not going to work.
This is not, this is not sustainable. So that was really, those were the two things, just the digestion and the elimination and the reflux. Like my gut was really a mess.
Yeah. And so how did you end up addressing the RA?
Yeah. So again, like I had this little sixth sense that something else was at play besides these symptoms. Nobody, not one doctor, not a practitioner ever said to me, what are you eating? Diet was never a conversation. It was never brought up. In fact, one gastroenterologist told me to sleep at an incline and to drink warm milk before bed to soothe my esophageal lining. And I was like, well, now I know, right? And so do you.
Right.
Would you ever do that? I'm like, okay. But I was thinking 16, 17, 18 years old. So I just basically what ended up happening was I ended up graduating from college and definitely battled weight and bloating, reflux my whole college career, moved to New York City. and I ended up finding a doctor. I went in for another prescription of Prilosec or
Mhm.
Nexium because those were all like those weren't over the counter at that time.
Yeah.
And the doctor that I normally had was gone. And it was a fill-in doctor. And I will never forget this woman, and I wish I knew her name. She walked in like to the lobby of the doctor's office with a bike, and she had like dreadlocks, and she smelled like patchouli oil, and she had henna. She was like a
Yeah.
very sort of, earthy, cool woman. And she
My
walked
kind of girl.
into, yeah, she was like so awesome. I was just like, this
Yeah.
woman is like so healthy, and she's rode her
Yeah.
bike to work. And she looks at my chart and she's like, I am not writing you a script. This is absurd. At this point, I was like, 23 years old. She's like, I am going to give you the personal number of my acupuncturist. And she's down the street on Spring Street, and I want you to go see her. And that woman, that moment, like
Mhm.
changed my life. I
Yeah.
walked into her office. I do remember her name. Her name is Mia Hatkus. I don't even know if she's still there,
Okay,
but I
we'll look up
walked
for
in.
Mia.
Yeah, good props to Mia. And that was another turning point where I walked in and it was another world, Cat. Like it was
Yeah.
incense and herbs, and she had like just very Eastern medicine looking. And she looks at all my vitals, my whites of my eyes, my teeth, my back, my ears, under my fingernails. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh my gosh, you poor thing. You are crawling with candida.
Mm. Mhm.
And I didn't even know what that word meant.
Right.
And I was like, what is that? And she's like, well, it's an overproduction of yeast caused by inflammatory foods and sugar. And I grew up on Raisin Bran with skim milk, Martin's potato roll sandwiches, Nature's Valley granola bars, spaghetti and meatballs. I come from a wonderful family, but I was born in the 80s. Like that's what you ate growing
Right.
up.
Right.
Um,
Sugar and everything.
Sugar.
Right.
And so I soon learned that everything that I was consuming, from the Raisin Bran to the sandwich, was a form of sugar. So then I really, I went down the rabbit hole. I ended up hiring a holistic nutritionist who totally changed my diet. Really, what people know about me is I'm like 110% or nothing. So I went 110% into this full throttle. I cut out dairy, I cut out gluten, I cut out sugar. I stopped drinking caffeine. I replaced it with green tea. I started making like green coconut shakes in the morning, eating lean proteins, tons of vegetables, tons of green juice.
Mhm.
And I'm not kidding, in 2 weeks, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like, dare I say, like great.
Right.
And
So
I couldn't believe it. And 2 weeks later, my symptoms were gone. It got worse before it got better. But
Mhm.
instead of taking Prilosec or antacids, I started taking turmeric and ginger and lemon and things that would soothe the fire.
Yeah.
Um, and it was a slower process than medication, but it ended up like really serving me.
It's so interesting because I'm also an 80s gal. No one ever talks about like the amount of antibiotics we were put
Ugh.
on. They were doling them out like Skittles,
It's true. And I
right?
was on a lot of them.
A lot of them.
Yeah. You just
And the
went to the
Nexium
doctor
and the
and got one.
Prilosec for you, it's like all of these things that were eroding our guts and probably leading to a lot of what's happening right now. Like 90% of
That's
autoimmune is women. And it's happening at these like various life stages for us. So like puberty or like, entering that like 18, 20, then perimenopause, which like I don't know if I'm in perimenopause now or
me neither.
if I have COVID or
Or if you're just like really stressed out.
right, like someone tell me where I am. But
You
it
and I
is,
need to
it's
be
like we've
friends.
we've sort of destroyed ourselves internally with our guts.
So
We were
true.
in the tanning beds.
Oh,
Like
yeah. Oh,
I can smell
GTL,
my
gym tan
skin.
laundry. Remember that phase? Like,
Yes. And
just
you're also Italian and also
yeah,
a Jersey gal, I heard.
totally.
So,
Siciliano, live in Jersey.
yes. So
Yes,
I'm
I
right
was,
there with you.
yeah,
So we've like been so destructive to ourselves
yes,
and it does come up in these ways and it's so wonderful that you were able to get to that point, especially in that time frame. Like when I was in my 20s in the
right.
city, you're lucky if I had a vegetable.
Oh, I know. I know. I know I was a little ahead of my time in the fact that I was so fortunate. Just again, I'm a big universe manifester.
Yeah.
Like it just sort of took me on this path of very Eastern medicine, very whole foods. I was doing colonic hydrotherapy when I was
Mhm.
3 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm still going every, like, 6 to 8 weeks. I
Yeah.
absolutely love colonics. I think they really, really made a huge, helped me progress really fast. I was doing infrared saunas and
Yeah.
cryotherapies before they were, like before Clear Light was born, you know?
Mhm. Tell me, so I've only done a colonic twice, and I mean, it's such a sensation
It is.
when you're did you have them put it in, or did you do it yourself?
So I have a woman that has been
Okay.
doing my colonics since
Yeah.
I was 23. Like, the amount of things we've talked about on her table from, like, dating and breakups to getting pregnant and postpartum and struggling to get pregnant with Winnie and,
Yeah.
like, all the things, starting the business, like, she knows all of it.
You're releasing your shit, literally, just
Literally, like, actually, literally,
like,
like, letting it
actually, yeah.
go.
So what do you, just for a tip for women that are listening, they're interested in colonics. Obviously, it's another sort of situation where you're removing both types of bacteria. What's your protocol after a colonic in order to, like, feed that good bacteria again?
Yeah, yeah, so I think my protocol going into it is as important as coming out of it. So I think in order to go into a colonic and have a successful session, we'll call it, you need to have a lot of veggies. So raw and cooked, I would go on, like, a 2-day plant-based smoothies, lots of greens,
Yeah.
cruciferous veggies, no beans, no animal protein,
Mhm.
tons and tons of juices, like 3 fresh green juices a day. I would absolutely weave in alkalis. My colonics, my therapist and I joke. She's like, "Wow, since you launched that product, like things have gotten a lot better on this table." And I'm like, "Well, always be alkalizing."
Yeah.
Um,
So tell me more about the alkalized product and just,
yeah, yeah,
obviously it's a greens powder, but I'd love to just hear more on, how you
yeah.
incorporate it in your day.
Yeah, so it's 6 servings of dehydrated vegetables. It's the whole plant fiber. And it's primarily wheatgrass, barley grass, oatgrass, kale, spinach, turmeric, and it's really just meant to, alkalize the body. And so one of my moments in this journey was realizing that everything I was consuming was acidic. All of the white flour, starchy foods, caffeine, alcohol, dairy. I was eating a lot of dairy at that time. It's all very acidic to the body and inflammatory. And so what you want is the opposite of that, is you wanna make your system alkaline. And so the habit that we all adopt is the same. We wake up and we go have coffee, right? A lot of people don't have water. They go straight for an acidic cup of coffee after your nighttime sort of detoxification process, and then you go have a big cup of coffee, black or cream or sugar or whatever you're doing with it. So I'm just asking you to change your morning behavior from going straight to coffee to hydration and then 6 servings of veggies. Um, it primes the body for digestion all day. It makes you feel great. It gives you a little shot of energy. And again, what I've found in 10 years of coaching people is like a lot of people struggle in the bathroom category. And
100%.
so
Women
this
are
is
leaders in that category.
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
I get the most fun thing that I see when I get the DMs from people is, "Oh my gosh, my belly is literally flat finally," or, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to the bathroom 1, maybe 2 times a day. This has really solved for my reflux."
Yeah.
We worked, and she's very open about this, so I can say it, but Jenny Kane was a client of mine for a while, and she had a 20-year battle with reflux, and
Yeah.
Alkalize did it. Alkalize 3 times a day, she's
Yeah.
been t on every medication, so you just have to alkalize and clean out the body. Greens also, they oxygenate and they create space in the body. It's also why I like colonics because it just creates space in the body for you to feel lighter.
Yeah. I love that. And so when you were telling her to do that 3 times a day, what are the other sort of times that you would build that into
So
the
yeah,
structure?
so what I do is I wake up, I do my water, and then I have a big glass of alkalis. Also, a lot of people, honestly, Kat, don't love the taste. They love how it makes them feel,
Yeah.
but they don't love the taste. So I'm like, just get it down, just shoot it.
Yeah.
3 ounces of water and get
Right.
it down.
Right.
And then even if you don't love the taste, you're going to start to love how you feel after like
Mhm.
a week on it.
Yeah.
And so then in the afternoon, I may have another glass. I have the bulk. It's just kind of looking at me in my kitchen. So I'll have some bulk and then in before dinner. Like if I can't grab a salad, it serves as sometimes my salad before I go out to dinner.
Okay. Is this a weird thing to ask? Would you ever put it into bone broth? Or would
You
that be
abs-
like a weird?
so I you don't want to heat it.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's raw, so you don't want to put it into
Right.
something.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
So you could add it to a smoothie. I had this really cute influencer on Instagram mixed it into frosting for her son's birthday cake.
I love it.
Yeah, he loves alkalis and he wanted an alkalized birthday cake. I
Yeah.
was like, this is making
Like,
my heart
great.
sing right now. Yeah, I was like, that's cute.
That's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, yeah.
So I in the morning, I try to drink a lot of water. And my
Hmm.
dentist was actually telling me because I would get up and I would have the water next to my bedside table and just like chug the water. And I go to a holistic dentist and he was like,
Okay.
actually get up, tongue scrape, brush your
Yeah,
teeth, and
yeah.
then chug the water.
Because you're not like getting the bacteria from your tongue into your gut.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
like I found a difference doing that. But I
Yeah.
love that idea of like mixing something in
Yeah.
and then figuring out I think I fast by accident. I think a lot of
Right.
women just
Yes,
by happenstance,
absolutely.
like, we are in a fasted state by
Yeah.
accident. And
Yep.
so I tend to, like you were saying, like most women go to the coffee.
Mhm.
I've had my water, but I go right for the coffee, so I'm not eating anything.
Right.
So I think to your point, having something to sort of line the gut, line the stomach, and then what are we doing after that? Are we having the protein and then
The co
like, what are those steps to
What are the
actually,
steps?
like,
Yeah,
get your
okay.
your day going? Yeah.
Well, that's such a good question. This is really, like, what our brand is founded on, is
Okay.
that people don't know what to do,
Right.
and you could go to a dinner with your friends, and, like, it would be a hot topic of, like, "What's your routine every day?"
Mhm.
Because people actually don't know what to do. Should I fast? Should I not fast? Should I do cardio with fuel before? Should I eat protein? When do I have my carbs? How much fat?
Right.
So what I have done, again, the best thing about my job is I have had a front row of behaviors for over 10 years. So I am learning every day, all day long, that we are all exactly the same. We all have the same wishes, desires, pitfalls. We all get hungry at 4. We all want to snack late night. We all want to have, some alcohol and drinks and let it go at the end of the day and have that reward. We all go way too long throughout the day without food and really nourishing ourselves. And then we overeat at nighttime. So here are some steps. So some steps are wake up, have some water. I personally do this crazy thing. I have a liter of water before my feet hit the floor.
Mhm.
It sounds aggressive, but for me, it works because I go long periods where I'm not in one place or I'm at
Mhm.
drop off with my kids, and all of a sudden it's an hour and a half,
Right.
and I have had one sip of water.
Mhm.
So I just get a whole liter in. Then I do my alkalis. Then I do my coffee. And then my first meal of the day, this is your most important meal of the day, is protein. So protein's such a hot topic right now. Everybody's talking about your numbers and how do you get it in and all these protein additive drinks like
Right.
Starbucks and
Right.
um the goal really would be for you to get in at least 30 grams of protein for your first meal.
Mhm.
And that's really hard to do because eggs only have 6 grams of protein in one egg.
Right.
So that's a lot of eggs.
Mhm.
So what I like to do is I like to make a smoothie in the morning. And I actually just had mine before our call. So my
Love
smoothie is
it.
literally this big.
Yeah.
And
What's
so
in your
this
smoothie?
What's in my smoothie? Okay, so this morning I did water, 1 1/4 cups of water, my optimized powder, which is 45 grams of protein, 10 grams of inulin fiber. Um, and I did about 1/4 a cup of wild frozen blueberries,
Mhm.
and that was it.
Great.
Delicious.
Love
So
it.
I got in some simple carbohydrates with the blueberries. I got in 10 grams of fiber. I had 45 grams of grass-fed, grass-finished, and pea protein
Mhm.
with all of the essential amino acids. And this really will help me coast while I'm sitting at my desk. I'm not going to feel too full. It'll get me like a good 3 hours.
Yeah. That's sounds awesome because typically I'm searching for something to get in myself quickly. Like I've gone to I don't know if you know the brand Teton.
Yeah,
So I've been doing their breakfast sausages and my daughter will have some, but like
nice.
my husband's like, "Are you eating a whole pack?" I'm like, "Yeah, because I have to get." I was like, It's only 30 grams of protein. I have to eat the
Have you
whole thing."
seen all the memes that are like, "I have to quit my job so I can focus on my protein numbers?"
Yes, but why? I mean, that's like a whole
So
other
hard.
thing is we're we had a listener that was asking me, um, "Why is there protein in water?" It's like we always latch onto these things, and it's so funny. I don't know if you had watched the documentary Fed Up. Have you seen
Yes,
it?
I did.
From your background and everything, I was like, "She'll love this." But it's the marketing of everything is so interesting. It's like, let's just latch onto one thing. Like, wherever someone is feeling vulnerable, let's just dive right in and
Absolutely.
add it into everything.
Yes.
Like, when Fed Up, when they were
Love
talking about the jazzercise movement,
that.
and they're like, "Oh, well, we need non-fat milk. We need non-fat everything. So we'll just inject sugar into everything," which is also our issue. And then they had all this fat. What do we do with it? Well, we'll make cheese and we'll just sell it to everyone and tell them they need to have cheese and like put out this entire campaign. So now it's like everyone's talking about the protein. Women still have no idea because you don't want to like I love protein. I'll eat a sausage on my way to pick up, but
Yeah.
like
I'm not afraid to eat a sausage on the way
I'm
to
not
pick.
afraid to eat a sausage. But no one's talking about the fiber. And I
Right.
love that you're talking about the fiber piece because there are so many other components. So I guess that leads me into my next question of where do you find that women are mostly falling short in nutrition?
I think it's protein and fiber, and I
Yeah,
think it's healthy fats in a, reasonable amount. So, I think, Americans demonize carbohydrates. We don't focus on micronutrients, we focus on macronutrients. Like, okay, if I pound 2 muscle milks, I'm gonna get in 60 grams of protein, and that's a win.
right.
No, that's not a win. It's a bad quality protein. It's got gums and fillers and emulsifiers. It's totally a gut disruptor. Doesn't have a lot of fiber in there. So the problem is, and I struggle with this a lot, we're always in a hurry, right? You said, I'm not afraid to eat a sausage. And I eat a lot of my meals in the car on the way to something. And we don't carve out that time to really sit and chew and feel satisfied. How many meals do you finish where you're like, did I finish that? Oh, am I done? I'm still hungry
Right.
because you're rushing through it.
Mhm.
And that really is where I think women are falling short is like carving out enough time for themselves to fuel and
Mhm.
to give themselves, to think highly enough of themselves that I'm also going to make myself a plate
Mhm.
because my kids' plates look amazing. My husband has a beautiful lunch, and I'm sitting there eating things as I'm putting it on their plate. Like, no,
Mhm.
Sarah, sit down
Mhm.
and chew your food and eat with everybody.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because we're always serving other people, um,
100%.
but you have to serve yourself before you
Mhm.
serve others.
Personally, that's something I've been struggling with because is I was telling you, I left the corporate world about a year ago and I've sort of trying to find this structure of, okay, I have all this wonderful time with my kids and then starting a new business. And, I get really energized by the work that I'm doing. And so
Me
I'll
too.
sit there and then it's like time for pickup. And I'm like, well, what's quick and convenient? I'm like, the only thing I have prepared is like, I'll go and get like 3 scoops of peanut butter
Oh,
And
oh
then
my gosh.
so so I'm
Yeah.
probably a therapy case for you, so perhaps we'll
Yeah.
have to offline about
No,
that.
I everything you're saying is resonating because like, yes, my go-to is 2 scoops of peanut butter instead of I need a salad with some chicken. Um,
Right.
so I can give you some really good meal prep tips. Also,
Mhm.
don't be afraid to order like a meal use a meal delivery service to deliver the right nutrients that you need and you can heat it up.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any shame in the game of having something prepped for you as long as it's a
Mhm.
clean and reputable source,
Yeah.
because in that grab and go situation, you do need to eat because otherwise it rears its ugly head later.
Right.
That 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock time, your body is hungry because you've not
Mhm.
nourished your body throughout the day.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's late night and you're eating.
Right. What are your favorite grab and go things? So, like, if
Yeah.
you're on your way to the city or you're going to get your kids, like, what do
Yeah.
you like to nourish yourself with?
Okay, so I have like in my fridge at all times, I try at least. I can kind of compartment prep. So hard-boiled eggs,
Mhm.
some sliced chicken breasts. I love like an easy sort of turkey meatball. Sometimes I'll even buy them from a pre-made. Like there is the no prep meal prep world also, which is
Right.
go to Whole Foods, buy a
Mhm.
pre-made rotisserie chicken, pull all the meat off while it's hot, and put it in a Tupperware container.
Yeah.
Cut up all your favorite vegetables. I love peppers. I love cucumbers, cherry tomatoes. I just slice a bunch of those up and they're in the fridge.
Mhm.
Hard-boiled eggs, and then if there's anything for dinner or leftovers,
Mhm.
if you're having fish or you're having, chicken or steak or something, just make a little extra to put in the fridge. The
Yeah.
other thing is ground turkey taco meat is like a staple of mine,
Yeah.
is I can put it in a bowl, I could put some avocado and some hot sauce on it, and it's a really great little snack or lunch.
You're just like Beyoncé over there with your hot sauce in your
Oh, yeah,
bag.
so much hot sauce. I love hot sauce. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Hot
But,
sauce in the bag. Yeah, as you
it
should.
it's good. It like protein wins, veggies win, avocados, also like berries, nuts and seeds. My grab and goes are basically hard-boiled eggs, and then what I'm apparently becoming known for based on my DMs is, like people are like, "Hey girl, I just it's 4 p.m. vibes," and they're eating chicken out of a Ziploc bag, and that's what I am now known for. Like there's a guy who wrote a song about eating a chicken cutlet out of a bag, and
Stop.
someone's I don't know sent it. They're like, "This is your theme song," and I'm like, "It actually is."
We have to tell our listeners though, no more Ziplocs.
Yeah, no
Like,
more
we gotta
Ziploc.
get yeah, we
No.
gotta get into, like,
What is it
hold-on bags
called?
are great.
Stash? What's the other one? I
Yeah, like
Stash pads?
yeah, those
Yeah,
are great.
yeah.
We love Hold On. They're
Oh,
biodegradable, but you can
okay.
reuse them. They're actually great for kids'
Oh.
snacks because they have
Oh,
all
I
different
like that. Okay, I'm
sizes.
writing it down. Hold
So
on.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, no,
save the
Ziplocs are
chicken.
out, plastic is out, but Stash, Hold On, even sometimes I'll put it in, like, a little glass Tupperware and
Yeah.
throw it in my bag.
We're a big ground beef fan.
Yes, me too.
Um, we love, is it Force of Nature?
Yes,
Have
I
you
love
tried that
Force of
brand? And they
Nature.
have the ancestral brand
Mhm.
that has all of the organ meat.
Ordered meat,
We just
yep.
do, like, the siete taco seasoning,
Yum.
and we'll have, like I mean, this sounds bizarre, but, like, if we're exhausted at night and we need to get it in, we'll have, like, a communal bowl of ground beef, and we're all just, like,
Oh,
sitting
I
there, we're like,
love
"We'll
that.
put a movie on. We'll just have this and,
You're
like,
like, "Let's just"
some
but by
veg."
the way, how much better is that than, like, greasy, gross, buttery popcorn?
Right,
We're gonna
right.
have you should
We're gonna
definitely
have ground beef, like so I'm right there with you with the
yeah.
protein.
It just makes you feel satisfied, it makes you feel full.
Yeah.
Like, protein will never get you in trouble.
Mhm.
And once you have more protein, you want more protein.
Yeah.
You don't yeah, the carbs is not the right answer in that, like, I'm super hungry moment.
So tell me about the carbs because I personally love harder workouts.
Mhm,
I am always ravenous after. I always gravitate towards the protein, but
mhm,
I do know that there's some merit to having the carbs in that situation. Where
mhm.
do you sort of where do carbs fit into your thought process?
I think carbs are, especially for a high intensity workout or people that are more in that athlete category, carbs are very important. and you wanna support your workouts with carbohydrates. So, if you are gonna work out at 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning and you've been up since 6, it's a good idea to have something before you run or do a HIIT class. So, it could be in the form of half a banana, it could be a full banana if you're gonna go for a long run. It could be berries. I love blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries. It could be like a quick little date on the way to a class just to give your body a little bit of
Love dates.
sugar to
Mhm.
burn off. And then following that workout, that's where I would put the blueberries in a shake, or I would have some nut butter. I'm sorry, nut butter, some bananas, add a little bit of nut butter. Yeah, I do like the idea of supporting your workouts on either side with carbs. If you wake up really early, like we have our 5 and 6 a.m. exercisers, they're probably not eating anything. They're just going, getting the workout done. And then I would say you need the protein, but you also really need the carbs afterwards.
Mhm.
Good carbs, not a bagel,
Right.
not a like granola bar or protein bar with a bunch of junk in it. Like
Mhm.
berries, real fruit, and apple. Something
Mhm.
like that.
What about what's your stance on, like, a sourdough toast with avocado or something like that?
I love sourdough toast,
Yeah.
and I
Okay.
and I love the avocado. I think both of them are great. I think right after a workout, if you're gonna have avocado toast, I would want you to put a couple eggs on there. Like, for
Mhm.
you specifically, I would want you to
Mhm.
do 1 egg yolk with 3 egg whites,
Mhm.
and then I would also want you to have something before the toast that's immediate shot of glucose, so berries. Or a banana. I would want you to
Yeah.
have something that is super high in sugar where your body can utilize it, and then when you have the avocado toast, the avocado's fat, it's gonna slow the absorption of that sugar into the
Mhm.
system,
Okay.
which is fine, but you need that shot of sugar right after the workout.
So tell me more about that, the blood sugar spikes, and, like, why is that so important? So, for
Yeah,
me, we've established that I'm doing exactly what you shouldn't be doing because I'm spiking my blood sugar all day. I'm not having, like, a real meal,
right.
and I get to dinner and I am ravenous, and so my husband and I love cooking, and we'll cook a big meal, the
Yeah,
ground beef aside, we
yeah,
generally cook
yeah,
an
yeah,
actual
that's
meal.
fun.
We actually cooked the other night, we made, with rotisserie chicken, we did the, coconut and turmeric chicken stew from SWW.
Isn't it good?
So good.
My
Super light,
sister, it's super
wonderful.
light, right?
Yeah.
And packed with
Mhm.
protein. My sister is our recipe creator and our chef, and she lives in Italy, in Florence, Italy.
Okay,
And so
wonderful.
she went and did, like, Eat, Pray, Love and never came home, basically. She just stayed there.
One does, as you
Uh-huh.
should.
Met her husband, had a baby, and literally never came back.
I love it. So she's
And
she's imparting her knowledge on
she's
us
the
of, like, her Eat, Pray,
mastermind.
Love, which is awesome.
Yes. I'm like, "How do you make this?" Can you please do this kind of stew, but I don't want any gluten, no
Mhm.
added sugar. How do you make it delicious? And somehow she figures it out, and our recipes are really great.
Yeah. It was so good, and it was pouring rain. I think we're in Boston, so I'm
Oh,
sure it was pouring rain in New York as well. And we just wanted something that was nourishing and warm, and we're a big bone broth family.
I
So that
love
is something that if I'm on the go, I will just, like, heat up bone broth really quickly. Maybe I'll put some lentil, like, Trader Joe's has those easy lentil
Yeah,
packages or
yeah,
rice, like, throw that in, and then you can get going.
yes.
Um, but, we just wanted something nourishing, so we made that, and, like, the kids loved it. We all made it together. I will say, like, the vegetables were on in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Like, the
Whatever,
fennel was in, whatever it was,
whatever, they cut it, okay? It's fine.
it was in there. He's My son was like, "Lemongrass? What is this?"
Right. No,
Anywho,
that's
so we'll have to share that with our listeners because it was delicious.
yeah,
But,
okay, good.
um, going back to the blood sugar spiking, it's like then I'm eating, maybe 2 or 3 servings of that at
Right,
night.
'cause you haven't eaten enough
I
throughout the day.
did put it over rice because I thought that that was also necessary. So,
Yeah,
talk me through, like, the blood sugar spikes and how as women, because we are so high strung and on the go and continuously on this mental scroll, like, how do we help ourselves with the timing of everything with that?
yeah. The timing is so important, and having a game plan. And what I like to say is that everything that you are searching for, from weight loss to energy to better digestion and sleep, is on the other side of learning how to balance your blood sugar. And if we're not constantly spiking throughout the day, we are sort of in this coasting mode, and that's when the voices stay quiet. When you're hungry and your body's searching for calories or you're in a blood sugar spike, those voices get very, very loud. And that is a really frustrating, disempowering place to be as a woman.
Mhm.
When we're always thinking about food and we're always hungry, it clouds everything around us. And so what we do a lot is we put a glucose monitor on our clients. And so I'm watching what your blood sugar is doing. And what we have found is once you spike in the morning, it's very hard to rebound throughout the rest of the day. So that's why you want to think about that first meal is like mission critical to get in protein, fat, and fiber. So
Mhm.
that could
Mhm.
look exactly like your sourdough toast with a ton of eggs. Maybe you add some microgreens to that, a side of sauteed spinach, something like that. Lots of veggies, healthy fats, fiber, um, and obviously the protein. Then your next decision is also important because this is where people might go to a sweetgreen and they might get a sweet potato and roasted root veggie salad with quinoa, avocado, and sunflower seeds.
Mhm.
Great. A fat and carbohydrate bomb with very
Mhm.
little protein. So what
Mm.
happens in that situation is we're eating a lot of fat, we're eating a lot of carbs, and our blood sugar is gonna spike. We get that Thanksgiving feeling of like, ugh, our glucose surges, and then 1 to 2 hours later, you're at your desk or you're in the car and you've gotta take a nap,
Yeah.
and that's because what goes up must come down.
Mhm.
And if you just tweaked that salad to be guacamole greens, double chicken, leave out the tortilla chips,
Mhm.
you can tell I've ordered Sweetgreen a couple times.
Yeah, I was like, "Is that Sweetgreen or is that Chipotle?"
This
It says like
no, this is my order, my Sweetgreen
Yeah.
order
I
specifically.
love it.
Um, and then you won't be tired. Don't eat the bread, double the chicken, leave out the tortillas. Now you've had protein, fat, and fiber, and you are coasting till possibly that 4 p.m. time when your body gets hungry again, between lunch and dinner, and then eat some more protein, fat, and fiber.
Mhm.
You could make a shake. You could have a couple hard-boiled eggs and some avocado. You could have a simple carb of an apple with a little bit of nut butter. You could have a jerky stick on the go with 2 hard-boiled eggs or a handful of nuts. But what you don't wanna do is have another coffee to try to put the hunger away, because we all know that game. Like, every woman, we're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna kinda hungry, I'm gonna have more coffee." Cheers.
Cheers.
No, but to my credit,
I'm
I
like,
did have my
"Hit me
smoothie,
up. I just need my IV for the
right? I know.
day." Yes.
We, like, overwire ourselves, and then we get into this stress response, and then you know what happens? We don't lose weight because our body is afraid, and now it's managing cortisol, that's our fight or flight, and your body's like, "I don't know if when I'm gonna eat again. I'm in this crazy fasted state. The drop-off line was really stressful this morning. This email is stressing me out," and your body's like,
Right,
shallow breathing.
right.
Nervous system is over time, your adrenals are shot, your nervous system's shot, and then you cannot lose weight.
Yeah. I almost find that when I on the days that I don't have it together with my nutrition, it's like everything else is
Yeah.
falling apart. It's like I have
Correct.
the brain fog. I
Yep.
am not getting in the workout that I want. It just sort of all crumbles.
100%.
Um, so I'm also curious about how you balance because I know in your specific method, you talk about balance a lot, and we're inundated right now with everything is black and white.
Mm,
We're eliminating everything.
so much black and
It's
white.
all the protein or paleo or keto and, you know, everything's an extreme. And I am very much of the mindset of balance. Like, I love tequila, but you can't wear shoes in my house. And I have all natural cleaning products. And maybe I'll work out in some natural fibers, but like, I love Zimmerman. Like, there is a
Oh, I love
balance.
that. Yeah.
There is a balance. So, how do you approach your clients, especially women, when you're meeting them, what are those things that you're asking them to understand their nuance and
Mhm.
also to help them with the balance?
Yeah, that's such a good question. I think it's the opposite of extreme, right? It's so simple and it's so basic. We have all of the things that make us happy in life. We have, um, our nourishment and our food. We have our movement. We have love and laughter and sleep, and you need all of those things. And I think as women, a lot of times we're like, you know what, I'm going to skip the workout so I can, be here or do this. But if you just maybe got in 30 minutes of movement, you'd show up better for that next event or for your kids. If you just shut the laptop down and stop doom scrolling an hour before bed, your deep sleep scores will skyrocket and you will wake up feeling actually refreshed after the only 6 hours you were able to get in.
Right.
I think we need to give ourselves permission to indulge and not have guilt. Like, drink the tequila, stay up a little bit late, have a piece of pizza,
Hmm.
and then reroute. And I think what I try to do is give strategies for those moments to let you have it all. So we all kind of listen at this phase in our lives, we all kind of know what we're going to be doing, right? I know where I'm going to dinner on Saturday night. I kind of already know what
Right.
I'm going to eat. How am I going to set
Right.
myself up for that? All right, so I'm going to get my workout in. I'm going to have a big protein smoothie before I go out so that if I have a cocktail, I'm not going to be on empty, now drinking on empty, and then going for the bread as soon as it hits the table. And I just I plan for those things. I alkalize, I make sure I get enough water, and then I go out and like let it go and have some fun and get dressed up and, feel healthy and beautiful and all the things that we want to feel, and then wake up and move again.
Yeah.
It's really like so basic. It's
Hmm.
not like the extra protein sparkling beverage that's gonna get you in another 40 grams. Like,
Right.
make time to sit down and
Hmm.
eat something.
Hmm.
And I think that that's always the first thing to go in my regimen is my food time, but I am working on that really hard right now
Hmm.
because I realize that there are a lot of times that come, especially like on weekends where I just feel really burnt out.
Yeah.
And that's when I need to be like my best because I'm now with my family full on.
Hmm.
And if I feel badly when I can't show up to be the best version of me on a Saturday morning because I'm so shot from the week.
Yeah.
A lot of that has to do with sleeping, fueling, and stacking your days so that you don't go into the red on sleep deprivation or food deprivation or over exercising.
Right.
Um, I know I used to think that I would wake up feeling bad, and so I would exercise.
Hmm.
And I woke up feeling bad because I was exhausted, or I maybe didn't eat enough the day before, or I didn't focus on, calming my mind before I went to sleep. And then I would work it all out on the gym, and it was just like it just put me right back on that wheel of
Hmm.
exhaustion.
Yeah.
Temporary, like, high from the workout, "Woo, I got a sweat in," and then, like, 2 hours later, I'm like, "Give me a nap."
Well, that was like, and I wonder if you're the same. When I was in my 20s and in New York and in advertising and running around and entertaining every night, and then I would wake up and go to Tay at Soul Cycle and blow
Yeah,
my
oh,
eardrums
Tay.
out.
I love Tay.
I mean, where is she? Can we
How
bring
did
her
we not
back?
know each other? Really? I was probably on the bike next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were in the class with me where David Beckham was next to me,
No, because I would
but
have remembered that.
I was not one of those girls that like, you know, 20 to 15 years ago, like I was never in a set. I know I was in like a Soul Cycle crop top
Yeah,
and like
no.
shorts or like pants.
Right.
My husband, my now husband, we were dating at the time and he was in Boston. He goes, sorry, I can't make it this weekend. I'm like, that's fine. I'm going to take Tay on Friday night. And so I go in NoHo, and this guy is next to me. I'm like, wow, he's really handsome. And I'm like, holy shit, it's David Beckham. The one time I whipped my shirt off in class,
Oh, yeah. You
I
gotta
am
go for
literally
it.
on the bike, like,
You gotta
yes,
do it. You gotta
yes. And the funniest part was we get out of class and he's walking ahead of me, and there's a huge billboard of him at the time in NoHo, and he's walking back because he walked in the wrong direction, and we made eyes at each other. I swear to God.
You're like, "Did you see me
Sorry,
show
sorry,
up?"
Victoria. And so I called my now husband, and I'm like, "Thank you so much for sending me David in your absence. This is wonderful.
I swapped you out for the
I
morning.
swapped you out."
Yeah, yeah. Amazing. No, that SoulCycle in its heyday was incredible. Like, when it was really building 2011, 2012, I was doing a lot of my entertaining for advertising on
Yes.
bikes because
Yes.
I was like, "I can't have any more martinis. That's not what I'm into anymore." And I was
Right.
taking SoulCycle, and it
Right.
was such a great way to connect with people.
Was awesome. And then we would, like, go get a smoothie
Yes,
after and, like, quickly talk
exactly.
about the insertion order that should be coming our way.
Right.
And then and then you get to
Yeah,
go home. It was great.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
I will say, like, that getting in back to your point of just I think as women, we're constantly now searching for things to help
Yeah,
us understand our bodies. And for me, it was those high intensity workouts every day. And I wasn't helping my body recover. I wasn't
I
doing
know.
anything to help it. I was going out and drinking or whatever else. And like I went to Rumble when that opened, I would go 6 or 7 days a week. And again, I think that's why I have hearing loss. But these are the
Right,
things that
right, yeah,
a separate issue.
yeah,
But these are the things where we're, like, spiking, to your point, that cortisol in the
yeah,
morning,
yeah.
and it's not coming down.
No, and yeah, it's a constant state of cortisol spike,
Yeah.
stress hormone.
How do you this is kind of a quick aside, but how do you address food with your kids, and how do you model you know, being in this world of diet culture and the extremes, how do you model healthy eating for them, body image, all of that?
Yeah, so I think my kids watch what I do, and I only know that because sometimes they'll mimic it, and I'm like, "Oh, wow, they really" like, I'll do my alkalies every morning, I make my smoothies. I try to get my kids were into smoothies for a while, now they're really not. I do, like, gentle education about labels. I'm like, "Christian, check this out. Here's a Chloe's popsicle
Yeah.
with this many grams of added sugar. Now check out the Oreo bar. Look
Mhm.
at this, and then look at how many ingredients are here versus this." And he's like, "Whoa, mom, that's crazy." So then when we have a conversation about, should we do this one or this one? Um, a lot of times he's making a more educated guess. I'm also not going to carry the Oreos in my house, but when he goes to a birthday party, he will know that that's kind of what he's having. So if he
Mhm.
comes home and asks for something, I'm like, "What do you think?" Because we probably just had about 30 grams of added sugar. He'll be like, "All right, mom, you know what I'll have some grapes." Okay, sure, grapes are still full of sugar, but better than another popsicle.
Mhm.
Um, I think for, my daughter, I really just try to model, um again, my new thing really is, like, I'm really trying to sit down and eat meals, which I just haven't really been great at my whole life, so I'm really trying to model that for her. And then also movement. So I every morning that they wake up, I'm either, like, finishing a workout or close to finishing a workout, so they're seeing me in the gym,
Mhm.
working out or going to yoga class or whatever I'm doing, and then trying to stay active and outside on the weekends. I think it's a really hard conversation because sugar is everywhere. Birthday parties are my worst nightmare because of, like, goodie bags, and there's ice cream and there's cake and there's pizza and there's lollipops. And so I think it's just having normal conversations where, like, "Hey, bud, let's maybe we skip that."
Yeah.
Kind of like we're on this
Mhm.
we have this, like, inside conversation of, like,
Mhm.
not a great choice,
Yeah.
you
We're
know?
starting to have that. My oldest is 5,
Yeah.
the one that was talking about the toxics.
Yeah. Toxics.
Yeah, and so we're starting to have those conversations, but he still will like, I think the sugar part is really confusing because,
'Cause it's
he'll
in
be like, "Can I"
everything this poor
Yeah,
child is served, yeah.
right, and so for lunchtime, I'm having a really, really hard time, especially he just started kindergarten and I'm packing his lunch and, if you pack fruit, it gets soggy by the end of the day,
Yeah,
or by the time that they're eating,
yeah,
and you hear all of this about processed foods, and I'm like, "Okay, well, he loves like a beef stick. So I'll do chomps
Yeah.
or there's another one that's not in a stick form. I have to get you the name. It's a really good brand.
Okay.
But then I'm like, okay, I'm giving him that and then maybe like um oat house on something because he doesn't like sunflower butter. And I feel like everything is processed
Processed.
and
Yeah.
because he won't eat chicken if it's not,
Right.
he does.
Right.
Do you
100.
have any tips for moms that are, I feel like everyone that I talk to is so
Yeah.
conflicted on this. And then you see all these things on Instagram where they have these wonderful meals and
Oh,
everything's
yeah.
cut into like the Mona Lisa. And you're like, I'm eating peanut butter for lunch. I can't,
Yes. Yes.
I can't do this.
Here's my advice, Kat, is just let it go.
Okay.
Let it go.
Okay. Okay.
I am packing Wynn's lunch today was a jerky stick.
Okay.
I packed her green grapes, she's super into green grapes,
Yeah.
sliced cucumbers,
Okay.
Simple Mills almond crackers,
Mhm.
and I packed her a Scout protein bar,
Yeah. Okay.
all processed.
Okay. Okay.
But
That makes me
Winnie
feel
is
better.
not gonna touch now her new thing is she's not gonna have her chicken. I used to get those, gosh, what's the brand? I'll have to get to you. These awesome clean chicken nuggets, but now that they're soggy, she won't eat them. So,
100%.
a
It's a
jerky
texture
stick
thing.
wins over the chicken nuggets. So, um, I think we gotta give ourselves some grace here.
Yeah.
Like, you're still giving your child, like, a really great quality processed piece of food.
Yeah. Okay. I love to hear that. I was reading recently. Do you follow Emily Oster? Or did you read any
Mhm.
of her books?
I
So,
love Emily Oster.
she had put something out in Parent Data about processed or ultra processed foods because I think that's another marketing spin, right? Like we're all into that of is that actually bad? Is it the processing piece? Or
Mhm.
is it because most ultra processed foods have a lot of sugar? And she
Yeah, right, right. I
yeah.
like that question, and I would argue that, like, a chomp stick or a new primal the new primal pizza flavored jerky stick is great. Like, you can look at what the ingredients are. Sure, it's put into a package and processed, but a lot of times that might be better than a nitrate-filled hot dog or, some bad quality deli turkey. What's the difference?
Right. Well, my other question then is seed oils. What's your stance
Mhm.
on seed oils? Hot topic.
Oh, I know. I think seed oils, generally speaking, um, are inflammatory and go rancid once they are oxidized and get heated, and they make us not feel good.
Mhm.
Um, I also think that we've gotten super weird about all of this stuff. And when we go
Super
out
weird.
to dinner, you're
Yeah.
going to eat canola oil,
Mhm.
and you're just gonna have to just deal with that.
Right.
I think that if I'm a restaurant, cooking something in canola oil is gonna make it taste a whole lot better than olive oil.
Mhm. Mhm.
And if it's cooked in olive oil, most likely the client is gonna complain about it because it doesn't taste good,
Right. It's
right?
different. Yeah. Right.
And I just think there's a time and a place for just back to, like, simplifying,
Mhm.
microplastics and seed oils and all the toxins. We could get so neurotic about it, or we can just control it when we can, clean household products, buying good quality processed food if that's the option, or organic. I do believe in, like, the whole dirty dozen, like, buy the stuff that you need to that's organic. Buy as clean of meat as possible. I think that's where you should get neurotic, is, like, try to get, you
Yeah.
know, CSA farm boxes or Butcher Box or Mary's 5 Farms or any of that stuff, vital choice for fish.
Mhm.
Be specific about that stuff, but when you go out to dinner, you gotta throw it to the side and enjoy
Right.
yourself.
Right. I am totally on board with that. A random question about the meat. Grass fed and grass finished.
You want both.
Tell me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, like what you and I were talking about with all the advertising and then we call it health washing. You look
Mhm.
at a bag and it's like keto, fat-free, paleo, low grain, and you're like, "Oh gosh, this is great." You turn it over and there's 60 ingredients. Like Dave's Killer Bread is a great example of this. People
Yeah.
think this bread is so healthy. There's 5 different forms of sugar. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of the things are organic, but there's still cane sugar, maple syrup, maltodextrin, dextro. There's a lot of stuff in there
Mm-hmm.
that makes it taste great. Um, and so I think we just need to learn how to read labels and not be so swept away with the health washing
Right.
that is happening.
Yeah. So that was like a huge piece. The label literacy in general is so important for us. And so one of the pillars that we launched at our launch event, which you so graciously took part in for our Wealth Collective portion, that
Mhm.
pillar is meant to be effectively helping women become discerning consumers, like for us, for our families, helping us to select better products and kind of, get out of that headspace of just looking at that health washing and saying, "Yeah, okay, cool.
Right.
I need low fat. I need,
Mhm. Yep.
whatever it is."
Yep.
We need to do our own research. We are 100% our own uh, health CEOs, and
Yeah.
no doctor, no brand can tell you what to be doing. So you are in charge of that. So when you're blaming products, blaming
Right.
doctors,
It's
you
true.
need to get what you did with your health. It's like you need to uncover what's true. And the Wealth Collective is brands, resources that we trust because they are sort of thought leaders in the space of wellness. And they're speaking to women in the right way. And so we carried your Restore product, which I was so excited to have, specifically because I love the concept of using something in the evening and then also to help with your nervous system, because obviously those are all connected. So I'd love for you to talk about one, Restore, and then we can kind of dive into supplements.
Yeah, absolutely. Restore, every product that we've launched, there was alkalized to help solve reflux and digestive issues. Restore was born out of me being super burnt out, building a business, struggling with secondary infertility with Winnie, um, and not sleeping, adrenals shot, and I realized that one of the main things that I was missing were minerals in my system. Magnesium, calcium. We have 600 different bodily reactions that happen because of minerals in our system, and 10 to 30% of Americans are deficient in magnesium. So a lot of times why you can't sleep or you don't feel good or your hair is not looking good or your skin is looking sallow is because you need just some good old-fashioned minerals.
Mhm.
So what I did was I paired magnesium glycinate. It's the most bioavailable kind of widespread form of magnesium, um, plus potassium, a little teeny bit of sodium bicarbonate to alkalize the body. And then I added in L-theanine, and
Mhm.
L-theanine is the bomb. L-theanine is an amino acid that calms your nervous system. And so it's a really great little sleep aid. It's called Restore because I want you to have that. I want you to bookend your day, have alkalize to start and restore to end to set you up for a really deep, restful sleep.
Love that.
Mhm.
I would you also so we're having the alkalis in the morning, but I typically will take like a magnesium citrate
Yeah.
to help me go to the
You take that in the
bathroom.
morning?
I take it at night. Should I be
Yeah,
taking
good.
it in the
No, no,
morning?
take it at night.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
would take that with
Yes, with the
the
Restore.
Restore.
Yeah,
Okay.
Restore does not have citrate in it. I also do that from time to time,
Yeah.
especially people that have any digestive stuff. My only suggestion with citrate is just to have, like, a teaspoon because it can cause, like, diarrhea, basically, if you have too
Yeah.
much of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Um, so just diving into supplements, um, and the state of the world. We obviously saw yesterday consumer reports came out and they were just annihilating protein powders, saying that they just really fear mongering, I think, for the general public of saying that there are heavy metals in these protein powders, which, yes, some of the brands it's pretty high and unsafe to be consuming.
Yes.
For the most part, a lot of these brands are within healthy bounds, and I think I'd love to just get your sort of POV on your testing of products, how you guys uphold, standards for SWW, um, because I think women just need to know how brands are sourcing and working through all of those things. I think specific to the heavy metals conversation, heavy metals are in our soil.
They're in
if you're going to get a zucchini for your pasta, it has heavy
having
metals
high
in it.
dose.
And,
Yeah,
the dose makes the poison, but we don't know what the dose is in
right,
general and what
right.
everyone is different and what your toxic load is from the get go. And that's again going back to my point of we need to be our own advocates and our own health CEOs, and we need to read labels.
Yes,
So tell
yes.
me about how you've built this company and your products in that vein of just transparency and supporting women.
Yes. I think it's such a good question. And I think first and foremost, you need to invest in brands that you trust. And that starts with the founder of the business. That starts with, what is the efficacy of the brand? Um, and knowing that somebody that would found a business would not go and do something like shortcuts. So there is no magic bullet. There is no shortcut to having a great quality product. It takes time, it takes money, it takes research, it takes a chemist and a scientist, it takes third-party testing. There is a lot involved. You can't just, well, sure, you can just go somewhere, white label something, or slap a logo on it and call it yours. Absolutely, that's done every day. I think what excites me about our product launch, and we have a couple more coming up, is that I will never do that to our customer. First of all, I am taking all the products myself. I actually created the products for myself and then realized I was like, "Oh, we can make money doing this." I'm not kidding you.
That's the best kind of
I
business
am
plan.
not kidding you. I had a marketing person be like, you can like blow this up. And I was like, oh, well, we were just
Great.
a coaching business at that time. And I'm like,
Right.
oh, okay.
Hmm.
So we're going to move to product. Interesting. But I'm
Hmm.
not kidding you. The greens powder it was actually during COVID. I'm like, there is no access to green juice. I am dying. It's $12 a juice. I'm going to make a powder.
Yeah.
And I love wheatgrass shots because they clear everything out of your body. So, boop, 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 boop. And that took years to launch, like over 2 years to R&D it, and then third party tested and third party tested again. And every single time I draw a batch before we release it, it gets third party tested again because every batch is a new moment to release. So, our protein powder, similarly, third party tested, all organic. I know the farms where the grass fed, grass finished protein is coming from. And just to finish that conversation, grass fed, grass finished means that that cow, for the entire duration of their lives, they ate grass. They were
Mhm.
not, a lot of times, this is horrible language, but like a lot of times before a cow is slaughtered, they are fed genetically modified corn, soy, starches to fatten them up so that
Mm.
they can get the most meat out of that animal before it's slaughtered.
Okay, so
Grass
you can be grass fed
and
and
and at the end, they pump it
hormonally
full of
finished.
hormones. Yes, correct.
Oh my gosh.
Corn,
Okay.
bad feed,
Hmm. Hmm.
genetically modified, XYZ, and then you're now not having a grass-fed cow. So
Hmm.
you really want that the animal proteins that you buy to be grass finished as well. And that was something that we made sure of with our beef product in the protein powder. Um, I will touch on the fact that I love Vani Hari and I love True Vani, and as a female founder, I so respect the brand that she's built. She got ripped apart in the media for
Hmm.
for heavy metals in her
Yeah.
protein powder. It's in every protein powder.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's in every,
It's
especially
in
in
chocolate to be
it's in
it's
chocolate. The cucumbers I'm gonna eat
yeah.
for lunch. Like, it's in
Right.
every single thing. It's right what you said before. You said it's not the toxic, it's
The dose makes the
the dose
poison. Yeah.
dose makes the poison. You need to know that you're within a safe limit of, whatever that metal is that you're testing for.
Right. And like there's I think what is happening just from a global perspective here is we always are getting guidance in the extremes. It's like you're going to have heavy metals, then your kids will have autism and all of this stuff.
Right,
And then over here, it's like
right.
your body's not detoxing at all. And like, it's just to your point earlier, it's simplifying everything. And I
Simplifying it.
love how you're sort of structuring everything in a very simplistic way. I'm also pumped to try the protein powder because, um, it can be a solve instead if I'm not having my sausages that day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It just says like alkalize was acid reflux, restore was burnout, optimize is we don't have a lot of time. And also for you to go get a really high quality grass fed, grass finished piece of meat and eat it with 45 grams of protein is really hard to do in your lifestyle right now.
Right.
Who's
Well,
doing that? I'm putting
yeah.
it in here.
I love that it's also plant protein and animal protein. What was the choice for that?
Okay. The reason for that was me, again, back to those behaviors. I get to watch what people are struggling with. And a lot of my clients were saying the same things. The pea protein is chalky. The plant protein, or sorry, the pea protein is chalky. The animal protein or the whey is foamy. Also, grass-fed protein isolate smells like raw meat. It's got an
Yeah.
odor to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and nobody knows what kind of fiber to put into their smoothie. They're like, I'm going to put flax, chia, and inulin. I'm like, whoa, whoa, that's way too much fat and the nut butter and the banana. That's not the right kind of smoothie.
Yeah.
So what I did was take all the guesswork out. I combined plant, which is chalky, animal, which is foamy with a bad smell, put them together. I added organic cacao, organic vanilla bean, a little bit of organic monk fruit, and the inulin fiber to make the perfect consistency. It's a malted milkshake feeling, taste, and it's just really good. And the
Love it.
consistency is awesome. It was
Yeah.
I was solving for the consistency of smoothies is not typically great,
Yeah.
and the
It's
smell is not there.
yeah. 45 grams is awesome, and then I'm obsessed with the fact that you have the fiber in there. It's amazing.
Americans do
Yeah.
not want to they don't wanna do any extra work. We are
Right.
all about convenience,
Right.
and so even me, like, I'm like, "This is great. I don't have to pull out 3 different bags to make my smoothie now."
Right. Are there any other convenience products that you really like?
Boy, not really. Um, I am launching a coffee creamer in the
Ooh, okay.
future,
Yeah.
that I think is gonna solve for that cortisol conversation of,
Mhm.
like, going on empty with something that's making our bodies stressed out. Um, yeah,
Okay. And just going back to your health for a moment, are you currently still battling any autoimmune?
nothing,
Awesome.
nothing.
Yeah.
I solved all of it with food. I will say that as any working mom does, like yourself, like I do get sort of burnout, and so I really can know when the signals are coming, and I'll pull back. I'll cancel things. I'll cancel the trainer. I'll sleep a little longer. I'll try to walk outside a little more. Like that's really my only like health issue right now is making sure that I don't get burnout.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then one last question for you before we go into a quick fire round. Well, I guess, are you still doing acupuncture? Or are there other modalities that you incorporate in addition to your method for
Yeah,
yourself?
so I've been doing cupping for a couple of years, and I love cupping. So I'm not doing acupuncture right now, but I do mostly for me, it's exercise, it's walking. I'm trying now in between my calls to walk on the treadmill with my computer if I have internal calls just to move and get steps in. But yeah, I love cupping, and I also just love an infrared sauna, whether it's
Mhm.
a blanket, the higher dose blanket, or I have a clear light.
Yeah.
It's a game changer for me.
The higher dose blanket is
It's amazing.
unbelievable. It's so
It's a
good.
I met Kat, one of the co-founders this summer, and I was like, "Oh my," like, I totally fangirled. I'm like, "Oh my god, I use all your stuff. I've got the
Yeah.
red light mask. I've got the thing." She's like, "Okay, whoa." I was like, "No, it is
I just love
a
yeah.
it's just such a great part of the
Mhm.
wind down ritual."
The wind down ritual, yes. Another thing that we need to work.
We need to get you on a couch.
Yeah, okay, I'm ready.
We're gonna
I'm
get you to
ready.
wind down, eat, sleep.
Do you do cupping at home as well, or do you only go
No,
to
I go to a guy who does
yeah,
it, and then I kinda take, like, a little 20-minute nap while he does it. It's awesome.
I love it. Do you
Yeah.
feel sick after?
No, I feel,
Oh,
like, so
good.
energized and
Yeah.
oxygenated and flowy.
Probably because you're doing it so often, like, I maybe do cupping again,
Okay.
by accident once a year because someone is
Mhm.
offering it to me.
Right.
And inevitably, I am getting all the toxins out and then I get sick. Like, I'll get a fever.
Mm. Oh, interesting.
Um, I do lymphatic drainage
I do too. I
once a
love that.
month, which
Yeah.
is amazing. And the Brazilian technique that they use, they always do like the cupping on your stomach or your legs. That is like one of my biggest tips. If you have like any IT band pain,
Yeah.
having them like just put
I
oil on your legs, do the cupping and moving it around, you're like, oh,
so good.
so good.
So good.
All right, final question. Women that don't have access maybe to your method, your plans, products, what do you think are the three most important takeaways at any life stage for women to keep in mind with nutrition?
Okay. So, first and foremost is to hydrate. It
Mm,
is very simple.
mm.
Wake up and have water before your cup of coffee tomorrow.
Does it need to be filtered?
It needs to be filtered.
Okay,
Yes.
what filter do you use?
I
How
have in my home, I have a reverse osmosis that we put in like when we were building our house.
Okay,
Otherwise, a really great one, especially for apartments or smaller homes, is a Berkey. I love
Berkey.
the
Okay,
Berkey water filter. They're also really
okay,
pretty.
okay. Ours is ours is not maybe as aesthetically pleasing, but we use AquaTrue. We're in a condo, so we can't do like a whole house
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
But it's a glass carafe, which I like.
Oh, wow.
There are
Oh,
some
nice.
plastic pieces, but the carafe itself is glass.
Neat.
So I can link that in the show notes as well.
Okay. Okay.
All right,
Okay,
so
so
filtered
water.
water.
The
Mhm.
second thing is, start your day with a protein-rich meal. Whether that's eggs, a smoothie, whether
Mhm.
it's if you eat yogurt,
Mhm.
start your day off with aiming like 25 to 30 grams of protein. And then the last thing I will say for any stage of life, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, strength training. That is the next. You asked about nutrition
Yeah,
specifically, but I think that feeding your muscles by helping build muscle is gonna help everything from your balance as you get older to, your metabolic rate is gonna go up, your body fat percentage will go down, um, and more than anything, I was such a fan of, like, the cardio high for so long, but boy, is the weightlifting high, like, the same, if not better.
really is.
Yeah.
Totally.
Not to mention you just feel like a badass when you lift weights.
Yeah.
Give me a sled to push and I'm like, "Boom, I'm
Yes.
winning."
I'm, like, huge into boxing, so I
I love
love, like, anything that, like, you're moving at a fast pace and can just, like, lift heavy, punch
yeah,
heavy, any of that is just
Supergirl. Yep,
amazing.
yeah.
All right, the light question. So,
Okay.
what is one wellness trend that you've seen on social media that you actually leaned into?
Um, Turning my phone off about an hour before bed.
Mm,
That is something I've gotten pretty good at recently.
that's
It makes a
awesome.
huge difference, and again, I track all my data and I'm like, "Wow, okay, there's Sarah without a phone, there's Sarah with a phone."
Yeah. So, are you reading? Are you watching a show? What's
So
your
I do a really hot bath, and then I do a sauna blanket, and then I have a Shakti mat, which is like this acupressure mat that I lay
tell
on,
me?
and I
Okay.
listen to like a podcast or I'll read like a real book. I'm reading Lydia Finette's Claim Your Confidence right now. She's like a good friend of mine, and I love her. So I'm just reading her book right now. But Shakti mat, Shakti. Uh, I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not paid by them, but it is a great, great tool.
This is the one where it looks like there's little prickers.
Mhm.
And so, what does it do for your body?
It
How
just
does it make you
calms your
feel?
entire nervous system down because it's
Mhm.
it's acupressure points.
Mm,
So that would be
okay.
really good for your wind down ritual too.
Yeah. Do you do like legs on the wall?
I do. Legs up
Anything
the
like
wall
that?
with the Shakti
Yeah.
mat.
Yeah.
It's a whole
Okay.
thing. Like in my bedroom, my husband's luckily asleep by then, but he's like, when he's awake, he's like, "What are we doing
Yeah.
now?
Are you in the
Are we?"
blanket? Where are you?
I'm like, "I'm here."
My husband loves the higher dose blanket, and I will not know that he's in our bedroom, and he'll, like, freak me out because he is, like, just lying still on the ground
Oh
with
my
his
god.
headphones in.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
no.
I love it.
Favorite personal care product?
Gosh. All right, so can I say 2?
Mhm.
Okay, I love Molly Sims Wise Overachiever eye masks. They're
Okay.
one of my favorite things before I do anything on a camera or talking to people. I always do those. And then my second favorite product is Greg Renfrew is a dear friend of mine. She launched Counter, and she has this mist that you put on. It's a hyaluronic acid mist before you put on a serum, and it is incredible. It feels amazing. It's light and it's obviously an active, and it's
Yeah.
like I put it on my face every morning.
Okay, that's good to know. I'm obsessed with Counter's face SPF. Have you tried
Oh,
it?
all of it. I use the entire line.
It's
I am a
outstanding.
huge fan of Counter. I use
Yeah.
the wash, I use
Mhm.
the exfoliator, I use the hyaluronic, acid spray, I use all the toners, the serums, the nighttime oil,
I
all of
love
it.
it.
And it's all clean.
Yeah.
And I think
And
Greg has
actually
done
clean.
it's
Like,
actually it's
not that
actually
it's actually clean. Yeah.
it's also really beautiful and looks pretty in my bathroom, and I think
Yeah.
Greg's rebrand is just incredible, and,
Mhm.
I've watched her, like, relaunch that brand, and I'm a huge fan of Counter.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Last thing you Googled or
Last thing
chat
I Googled.
GPT'd if you're
Oh,
chatty.
I was trying to figure out the exact hour in which your body goes into ketosis. That was my recent nerd out moment. I was like, "Do you
What's
actually
the
go
answer?
into ketosis at" people will say that you go into ketosis at, like, the 13th hour of a fast, and then other people will say that you don't go in for, like, 3 days later, but ChatGPT told me it's 12 to 13 hours after your fast. Like, the Prolon cleanse, the Prolon, their whole
Mhm.
thing is, like, day 2 or 3, you finally enter ketosis, and I
You
don't
don't buy it. Okay, interesting.
that was my ChatGPT.
Podcast, book, or resource that you would recommend for women for health in general?
I really love Lipstick on the Rim, Molly's
Mhm.
podcast, because
One of our
it's
favorite.
so diverse.
Mhm.
I learned so much about the anxious generation, that
Mhm.
author was on, and then she has on Jennifer Garner, and then she has on, Tracy Anderson, and I think her audience that she is casting is so widespread, but all very interesting to me. I love Molly and I love Emma Shaw.
Yeah. Well, they're just so real. I
They're
love
real.
their conversations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
I
so
need
good.
I need to try Wise and
Yeah,
those
try
other
the
products for sure.
overachievers is what you wanna start with.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we need to
We need to
have like
hang
a
out.
part 2 and we need to get out, maybe do a Soul Cycle,
Yeah.
live our glory days and have a tequila.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get colonics, do our
And you
soul
can encourage
cycle.
me to eat lunch.
Yes. Sit down and eat today, by the way, in the next
Yes,
30
I
minutes.
did. Yes, I did. Well, because we were talking, I knew that I had to just like be on my best behavior. So I did. I drank my water. I didn't have alkali, so that's coming into the repertoire. I
Okay.
had some eggs and then I had coffee. Is that okay? You have your coffee after
Yes.
the
No,
protein?
that's good.
Okay.
You're
But I might
good.
have to get another coffee.
Yeah, okay, you can do that. Drink
Okay.
your coffee always before noon. You got 30 minutes.
Okay. All right. All right.
Done.
In that case, I got you are so wonderful.
Thank you,
I
Kat.
love what you're doing in the wellness space. I
Thank
can't wait to
you.
see the new products that are coming about and for women that are interested in nutrition and the balanced approach, not having someone talk at you about wellness, about nutrition. I would encourage you to look at Sarah's program. So I'll link everything in the show notes. And Sarah, you're such a joy to have on, and
I
I'm so
know.
thrilled to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kat. So nice to see you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, see you.
Okay, bye.
You can find more on Sarah's program and products at sarahwragge.com and connect with her on Instagram at Sarah Wragge Wellness. Subscribe to Off With Your Coat to stay on top of all of the amazing content coming your way, and be sure to follow us at GenWellOfficial. See you next week.